And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Satellite imagery showing a lot of cloudiness here south of the ice edge over the Bering Sea down into the Aleutians. Really weakening front here extending from Adak back to just north of Shimia. And then cloud shield right there with the next system coming up toward the Aleutians. And in the west here, we got moisture continuing to flow here from south to north on southerly winds that are spreading slowly westward here. And it'll eventually bring warmer air all the way up to the Arctic coast eventually, and even into the Bering Sea with a storm coming in. Otherwise, rain tapering off, clearing out over the southern southeast coast today, with temperatures in the 50s and lower 60s down there. And also rain becoming a little less prevalent here on the northern panhandle, but the heaviest rainfall along the North Gulf Coast, Yakutat to Cordova, with Cordova picking up about 1.5 inches here in the last 12 hours. And some good snow in the Copper River Basin, Gulkana having anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of snow today, lighter amounts up to the north. And then still mostly clear and on the chilly side over the western interior down in toward Bristol Bay and well below zero for the north slope to the Arctic coast. On the chart today, tightening gradient along the Brooks Range, producing gusty northeast winds here over the northern interior areas. And with that south to north flow here, moisture coming northward with some light snow in areas of the eastern interior. And behind the warm front, rain along the North Gulf Coast over to about Yakutat, but that all lifting north of the panhandle, but leaving a lot of cloudiness behind in the northern areas there. Dry and chilly in the west, continued northeast winds, and flurries mostly south are ended around the Pribilof Islands today with some lingering light snow or snow showers or flurries here for the Bering Sea side of the Alaska Peninsula, eastern Aleutians. And this weakening front here bringing a little bit of moisture in toward the central Aleutians. That continues to wash out and kind of hold in place there tonight. Next system coming onto the chart there. Lingering snow showers southeast Bering Sea. Lighter winds now across the entire Bering Sea all the way up to the Strait. But gusty winds continue with that gradient, especially on the western Arctic coast here and through the passes of the Brooks Range, with chances of snow and warming temperatures over the east side. With this warm front pushing farther north, that'll start to taper the precipitation off over the Copper River Basin as they get into more southerly flow and drier conditions there, but still look for periods of rain along the North Gulf Coast, and that'll slide back into the northern panhandle again or increase, and it'll stay dry down to the south. And chances of precipitation, snow or rain and snow mixed here, or some kind of mixed precipitation possible for Cook Inlet with snow back toward the western Alaska Range. And then for tomorrow, that warm front right about through this position here. So rain or snow chances continue south central Alaska with rain in the Copper River Basin, rain Prince William Sound. A little bit drier for the Copper River Basin as temperatures push into, close to 40 behind that warm front. And periods of rain for the southeast coast all the way down again, spreading southward once again. So a cloudier, wetter day coming up for those southern areas that saw such a nice day today. Clearing out though here over the Kuskokwim Valley down into Bristol Bay, and drier conditions for Kodiak Island. Not much change out over the Bering Sea here, except this system starting to increase the wind and precipitation along the Aleutians, and actually that's going to make a pretty good push on Monday right up toward the Pribilof Islands there, south to north flow, warmer conditions spreading into the southeastern Bering Sea, along with a lot more moisture now, so snow into the Pribilof Islands and possible blowing snow, gusty winds, gale force winds here for the Alaska Peninsula with rain, and snow for the central Aleutians as that colder air wraps back down around that low center just to the east of Atka. Not too bad here over the western part of the state, Kodiak Island, right up to the northwest coast there. Pretty fair conditions, some sunshine. Leftover moisture over the interior, even though there's a high here centered right on the mid-Yukon River area, but a lot of leftover moisture will keep it mostly cloudy with a few flurries or areas of light snow from the Brooks Range down in toward maybe the Tanana Valley, but nothing very significant at all. Much drier for the Copper River Basin, a weak low in the Gulf of Alaska. Chance of some light rain or snow for Prince William Sound. Dry over Cook Inlet, especially in the afternoon, with increasing chances of sunshine that will continue into Tuesday. And some moisture still lingering over the northern panhandle, drying out again down to the southeast coast. And for lows tonight, upper 20s, south central Alaska, mid 20s to mid 30s in the Copper River Basin, upper 30s for the North Gulf Coast, 30s to near 40 or into the lower 40s for the panhandle, with temperatures again 25 to 35 below for the north slope to the Arctic coast. But you won't see that 50 below that was recorded around Umiat this morning. Those days probably gone for this season. Otherwise, still below zero right down to the southwest coast. Lows just above 10 for the Pribilofs and in the 20s for the Aleutians. Highs for tomorrow, cooler with the clouds and increasing moisture for the southern panhandle, but still 45 to 50 across the entire area there. 35 to 40 in the Copper River Basin, mid 30s, maybe even mid to upper 30s south central Alaska to Kodiak Island. 25 to 35 from Fairbanks over to Northway and Tok, and then cooler back to the west, still below zero for the Arctic coast to the Brooks Range, mid-teens for the Pribilofs, otherwise lower 30s for the Aleutians. And for the lows Monday morning, 15 or 10 to 25 below for the North Slope, Arctic coast, and Brooks Range, still falling below zero over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, and right around 10 again for the Pribilofs, minus 12 St. Lawrence Island, 25 to 30 south central Alaska, in the 20s again for the Copper River Basin, 30s to near 40 for your lows over the southeast coast. And then for the highs on Monday afternoon, 35 to 40 south central Alaska, maybe even some areas into the lower mid 40s again like we saw last week. Lower 40s in the Copper River Basin, upper 30s now Northway and Tok, near 30 for Eagle, and mid 20s to lower 30s for the Tanana Valley around Fairbanks. Teens back to the west and to the north, but notice the Arctic coast, North Slope areas getting closer to zero, but still below, and upper 40s near 50 for the southeast coast.